Listen, could Lamar be going to the New England Patriots? How did this come up? Well, apparently, it ain't all good with Mac Jones over in New England, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew? Who knew?
Who could have foreseen this?
Who knew that he's not the next Tom Brady? Who knew that Bill Belichick was not satisfied with his performance? Who knew that they weren't 100% in on Mac Jones? I mean, that's the most obvious thing in the world, right? I mean, the Patriots have all but came out and said it's like since last year that they want Lamar Jackson, right? They're giving you all the smoke signals, telling you, yeah, we want Lamar here. Of course, he shot Mac Jones.
Well, to be fair, I think Meek Mill really kicked it off when he got people to ask Robert Kraft about Lamar. And
Right.
Robert Kraft said that's up to Bill Belichick. And then, maybe the Patriots beat writers got up and started doing their job since the Philly rapper was beating them to stories. They found out that, yeah, they've been shopping Mac Jones aggressively. And it's not a surprise that you have not found any takers yet. Well, I mean, that's not to be disrespectful to Mac Jones. You're talking about a draft coming up where there are possibly 5 first-round quarterbacks.
You want to talk about not wanted? That man's not wanted.
There's a lot of quarterbacks in the draft.
Yes.
Teams are going to wait and see if maybe they can grab one of them. There's nobody knows where Will Levis is going.
True.
I've seen him projected from as high as 4 and as low as I believe like 19.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows where that guy's going. And then after Will Levis, you got Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
And then there are a few other guys that some teams like.
When Meek Mill brought up the whole they want Lamar there, and they asked Robert Kraft. They asked the hoodie, and the hoodie's like, I don't talk about other players and all that stuff. Whatever. What none of them said was we have a quarterback. Right? What none of them said was, hey, we got a guy here. Because even if they don't believe that, that's a throwaway line.
I mean, he's a third-year quarterback. You would think that would be the automatic response.
Robert Kraft completely forgot about him. He did, right? He probably went back later. He's like, oh man, I forgot we had Mac Jones. Damn it. Well, can't take it back now.
Meek.
So yes, they're looking into it, and like we've been saying, after the draft, things are going to pick up, right? After the quarterbacks, because I don't think I know your guy EDC said there's like 5 quarterbacks that they believe in, some nonsense like that. There's 3, right? There might be a 4th one that pops up that surprises people, but there's 3 that people really like. And once they're gone, teams are going to be looking elsewhere. Hendo brought up on his video that he put out earlier that I'm stealing topics from that. I told him I steal his topics. Hendo brought up a good point about the Jets. They haven't worked out a deal with Aaron Rodgers yet, and look, the clock is ticking, man. If Green Bay does not come down the price, and there's rumors that other teams might be offering Green Bay something.
Well, I was going to say, because the Jets had said publicly that they weren't in on Lamar because they felt that would be negotiating in bad faith.
Yeah,
and once again, good guys finish last because apparently Green Bay's talking to San Francisco as well.
Davon says they're including Stetson Bennett in that as well. Yeah. EDC that said that there's about 5 or there's more than 5 quarterbacks that you like. I wouldn't be surprised that they looked at Stetson Bennett. I don't believe it. Here's what I do believe in. Our guy, Mr. Sutton Def. What is going on? Rain Gang, man? Purple Rain Podcast. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, fellas? What up to Lunch Break Hot Take? Appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's been a while. It's been a little while, but I'm glad to be back here, man. I missed y'all. So,
how do you feel about the latest talk of the Patriots' interest in Lamar?
Well, I mean, let me just preface what I'm about to say with this. I am a dejected Ravens fan at the moment. I've been feeling very disconnected from all of it, and that's by choice because I'm kind of fed up with it all. And you know, I'm sure you guys can attest to it. Like it's just exhausting, you know, hearing just all these rumors, not knowing what the truth is, and we get a little bit of news here and there and here and there. So it's just exhausting for me, and I'm feeling like a little bit of a dejected Ravens fan. But this latest news, these latest developments about him possibly, you know, maybe hooking up with the Patriots. I mean, I would like it. I would like it. I respect Bill Belichick as a coach, and I feel like it would be a huge litmus test for him to get a talent like Lamar Jackson. It would really be a test to say, like, okay, how good of a coach are you really? You know, and as a fan of the sport, I would love to see that, you know, unfold. So, I mean, I'm at a point now, like I said, I'm a dejected Ravens fan. So if we lose Lamar, I'm at a point now where like I've already kind of made my mind up. I'm good. You know, I'm good with it, right? So yeah, I mean, to the Patriots, that would be very, very interesting. And now, if it's up to me, of course, he doesn't go anywhere. He stays right. He stays right here in Baltimore. But you know, I wouldn't mind him going to the Patriots. But there's a lack of weapons there, right, guys? Like, I mean, there's just not a whole lot that he would be kind of, how do you say, like inheriting, you know, by going
Right.
to the Patriots. So, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I don't know.
Well, I was going to mention that as well. Like, you know, their cupboard is looking pretty bare at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, they did sign Juju. I like Juju a lot. But I think that the Patriots would be far more aggressive in going out and trying to surround Lamar with talent if they were to acquire him. But, you know, at this point, that really just looks like DeAndre Hopkins, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the market is kind of dried up a bit. So I think that, you know, if he ended up in New England, it might be a year or two process. I mean, obviously you'll see an immediate impact just from Lamar being there because Lamar is Lamar and
Right.
he's not McCorkle. But I think in terms of being a Super Bowl contender, you know, you're looking at, you know, 1 or 2 years and they can really build up around Lamar and kind of show the rest of the league what he's really capable of and what Bill Belichick has been kind of, you know, he's been looking for years. You know, he's been infatuated with Cam ever since, you know, Cam started tearing up his defenses. He's always been looking for that really kind of that dual threat quarterback. So I mean, I'd be really excited to see it. Obviously, I would have preferred Carolina, but Carolina went ahead and traded up to number 1, so that's kind of dead. But in terms of the other options, you know, I think the San Francisco and New England probably the most interesting landing spots for me.
I think Juju, and if they get D-Hop, I mean, he's never had that type of talent at the same time in Baltimore. I think that would be huge. They could compete instantly, I think, if they did that. Right. But it goes to Sutton's point. It depends on if Hoodie's really got it or not. You know, Tom Brady going off on his own, going to the Bucks and win a Super Bowl, and the Hoodie's got some lukewarm success with Cam and Mac Jones. You know, people are starting to question: was it really Belichick? You have Asante Samuel coming out saying, "Man, he ain't really do nothing, man. That was all Tom Brady." Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a good question.
And it makes sense. I mean, it would make all the sense in the world for Bill Belichick to go after this opportunity, you know, because he had so much success when Tom Brady was there. And the question was always, well, who deserves more credit, Brady or Belichick? You know, obviously Brady left and Belichick's success, it had a rapid decline, you know. So this would be his opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to take a quarterback that everybody in the league knowingly has doubts about. I'm going to take him and I'm going to take him to the promised land. You know, that would be like the ultimate kind of like claim to fame and put his name back in the conversation of like, okay, was it really Brady or was it more Belichick? Is Belichick really like the GOAT we should be talking about here or what? You know, so I mean, I think that's is very valid. I mean, it just makes sense, you know. So we'll see what happens, but because we know that Bill Belichick, he is the coach and GM acting. So we'll see what he wants to do. And I think nothing's really going to come to pass when it comes to Lamar Jackson until either day of the draft or maybe like within a week after the draft. That's just me.
Yeah, I think this goes to show that no matter how great of a coach you are, you still need talent, right?
Yeah, and the thing with Tom Brady, like, you know, I know that he's always going to get that credit because, hey, he went to a team that was under 500, took him to the Super Bowl immediately, right? But that team made a lot of additions when Tom Brady got there. And I mean, they already had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And then they bring in Gronkowski, they bring in Antonio Brown. They really upgraded the O-line. They did a lot of work on the defense. So it wasn't the 7-9 team that they were the previous year that he walked into. But yeah, like I said, with Bill in New England, you go from Tom Brady down to Mac Jones. It's not going to look great.